Welcome back to the Hawaiian Islands Vintage Surf Auction presented by Quicksilver Waterman Collection.
Well, this is my first time coming to the Vintage Surfboard Auction. I'm really excited. There's so much cool equipment that every time I look at some of this stuff, it's like it brings back some memory. I remember that guy, I remember that day, or something to do with it. And Randy, God, what an amazing, Randy Rarick. You know, I first started surfing with him in the mid-late 60s. You know, he was one of the hot surfers and coming from Hawaii in those days, competing along with Michael Ho and Larry Bertelman and Mark Sedlak. Putting on an event like this takes some talent. Good on you, Randy.
I've known Randy Rarick since 1967. He picked me up at the airport when I bought my plastic machine here. We became good friends, and I've been through a very difficult time in my life in the late 60s, but I broke up from my first wife, and Randy put me up, and he saw me through a lot of pain, and very good man, very compassionate guy. And shaped for him at Weber, Hawaii on Kapiolani Boulevard in 1969 and 1970.
Well, Randy Rarick, when I was building boards at Surfline Hawaii, he sanded and glossed every brewer that I built. And then when I went to Kauai and started building brewers, I sent him over to Surfline Hawaii, and Randy sanded them, finned them, and glossed them and polished them. And that was at Surfline Hawaii on P.E. Coy Street.
Thank you. Yeah, I'll probably screw this up. You know, I'm not much of a public speaker, but I just felt it was so important. You know, I've known Randy since he was 15 years old, and he was a shop gremmy at the Charlie Galeno shop in Honolulu. Even back then, you know, he took his board repairs so serious, and he understood, you know, the history behind all the boards and the shapers. And through the years, he's been the one guy that has had such great respect, you know, for the relationship between the shaper and the riders and the history of the boards, that he's the only guy I know that could really have pulled this all together like he has. I mean, you know, think about it. How many places can you go where you can see all the famous shapers in the world over the last 10-year period? We've had 5 of these. I like to call them get-togethers instead of auctions because they're just more fun, you know, to get together and have a good time. And, you know, the thing has just continued forward, and Randy has been at the forefront of this thing, understanding everything and doing such a great job. Randy Rarick's been a good friend to me and my family, and I would ask you, please, I know you've already done it once, but please give him a standing ovation one more time. Thank you.
Who is Randy Rarick? A former pro surfer, a surf film location manager, a global surf adventurer, a surf historian, a vintage surfboard restoration authority, surfboard designer, shaper and builder, surfing event director and promoter, and has been known to throw great Halloween parties. This is Randy Rarick.
What's going on?
I don't know, 20 years of Randy Rarick gets to be a little much.
Randy Rarick, Executive Director of the Triple Crown of Surfing. Got a lot out of surfing and felt really good about putting a lot back into surfing.
Hey Randy, this is Jerry. Just wanted to congratulate you on your Lifetime Achievement Award. About time, huh? These guys don't have a clue.
You know, my early years were formulated growing up and living in Hawaii, and it was really different being a local haole kid. In other words, I wasn't a local Hawaiian, I was a haole kid from the mainland, but I was so young that I was raised with local values.
Yeah, we grew up kind of in the same neighborhood. Used to surf quite a bit together. He was the very first guy of our group to make his own surfboard, probably when he was about 12 or 13 years old. We were pretty impressed by that.
Next saved message.
Dolph, So Sean, this is a message for you. I first met Randy in 1969 at a place called Makaha in Hawaii. My father and I were very, very impressed with his surfing, so impressed that he was actually invited out to South Africa.
I mean, I've surfed the place by myself. I mean, I've gotten Jeffries as good as you can possibly get J-Bay.
That was his first trip to South Africa, and I think that trip really changed Randy's life. And I think it helped kind of stimulate his traveling bug.
Early 70s, a period of guys really going out in the world. That's like when I traveled extensively, because we didn't know what was out there. The whole idea was to see where could you surf.
Before any of us, Randy was the guy that was, traveling the world, going to surf in exotic, weird places that no one ever thought there was any surf.
Go, take a sister and by the hand.
Back in the 60s and early 70s, guys were surf bums, considered, the Spicoli, hey dude, let's get wasted and go surf. And, you used to win a bar of wax, you thought it was a big deal. And then, actually got a shack, and pretty soon it was like, wow, you could actually make a living doing this.
Randy Rarick and I started in 1976 under the banner of International Professional Surfing, which was the original pro circuit.
Without Randy, pro surfing would never have started. He was creating pro contests and creating the pro tour. I don't think many of us believed it, but Randy must have, because even when sponsorships were hard to come by, and Randy just persevered and got the job done.
Way back in 1983, when Fred Hemmings created the Triple Crown, I actually said, geez, Fred, can't you be a little more original? And I didn't think it would ever grow to be, such a prestigious title.
Hey, Randy, what's up, Andy? He's definitely, done a big thing with Hawaii surfing in general, and the Triple Crown. It's definitely one of the accomplishments that everyone wants to achieve.
It's very problematic to keep all the divergent interests happy. You got to keep the surfers happy, and of course the commercial interests of the sponsors had to be considered.
Let's face it, isn't classic pipe by any means.
Let's go.
He must think it's satisfying in some way. I don't see how, but I mean, there's, I guess, the satisfaction of accomplishing it each year, and it's been a good many years now.
This is the Rip Curl Pro Pipe Master Hotline for Monday the 13th. Competition will get underway this morning, 8 a.m. with round one of the main event.
Every day, Randy Rarick gives back to the sport, and for me, he's just a really inspiring individual. He's an incredible diplomat. He created an incredible career for himself. Let's see now, what was it? He was a surfboard shaper, surf shop owner, then a professional surfer, professional movie location scout, contest director.
The competition is on in the Pipe Masters.
Randy's got a lot of stress, but I have never, ever in my life seen Randy Rarick pissed off, ever. He's always got that wry grin and kind of that look in his eyes that, hey man, whatever happens here, it's just not that important, because I'm going to go home and I'm going to paddle out at sunset. Hey Randy, this is Jerry.
Ah, sweet one, Randy.
Great job. Keep up the good work. And when are you going to give it up?
Lifetime Achievement Award winner, Randy Rarick.
The legendary lineup continues with Surfboards from Wally Froyseth, Lord Tallyho Blears, and some rare camera gear from George Greeno.